This is Lauren Alexander, and you're listening to the Groove Lab podcast. Hey, thanks for being here. This podcast is all about the people who make up the music industry. Today, I've got Connor Christian, frontman and main songwriter of the Nashville-based band, the Southern Gothic. Their brand new EP, Burnin Moonlight, was just released a few days ago, and I am excited to get to talk to him and ask him some questions. So let's get him on the phone. All right, you ready?
I'm totally ready.
Okay, cool. Could you just start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and your music?
Yeah. So I have, as far as the band, as far as us, we've been together in some form or fashion since about 2005. Shawn and I, the drummer, and I started playing together in 2004, and then kind of took the project that I was working on and sort of morphed it into this over the course of a couple of years. So we've been playing together for over 15 years now, and the band's gone through different phases, and started off more of a rock band, and sort of evolved into an Americana act, which we were for years and years, and now we've sort of moved into more pop friendly territory, pop rock, kind of which is sort of where I started, as a musician way back when, as a kid, middle school. So that's kind of the short story of the band. I was born in LA, and my dad worked for the State Department, so we lived in a lot of crazy places. We lived in Brussels and Jakarta, Indonesia, and Seoul, South Korea for a good long time, and
Wow.
and then all over the States as well. And so I spent most of my childhood, kind of in the American school or the international school in whatever place I was, and I guess had a different experience than a lot of people in, especially in country music and in Americana, where they kind of grew up and they know everybody from their hometown and that kind of thing. And that wasn't my experience as a young person. So I think I bring a bit of a different perspective to what we do.
That's really cool. So when did you decide that you wanted to be a musician?
I tell the story all the time, but I think it's really like the most effective answer to that question, is that when I got married years back, my mom gave a little like scrapbook of my childhood art projects and stuff to my wife, and the first page is this piece of green construction paper. It's folded in half, and on the outside it says, "What are you going to be when you grow up?" And Miss Lombardi's first grade class. And then you open it up, and sure enough, I've drawn myself with a microphone, and it says, "I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to take Michael Jackson's place."
Oh my
I'm not
God.
sure what that. I'm not sure what that last part meant, but either way, I guess I just really haven't considered much of anything else, my entire life. I can't really think of there being a time where I was like, oh, maybe I should be, a firefighter or whatever. This was just like, I guess whenever I get something in my head, that's the end of it, and I've just never really considered anything else an option.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's hilarious. And that's kind of the mindset you have to have too, being a musician, because it's not easy. It's not an easy job.
No, and I think that's the mindset really you have to be, with anything that you want to do at a high level. If you want to, play Major League Baseball, I don't think that you can't just be pretty good at it and hope that it's going to work out for you. You got to really stay after it all day, every day. So I think that's pretty much the same anywhere you go.
For sure. Well, so are you guys based out of Nashville now?
Yeah,
Okay.
moved to Nashville in 2015, so I've been here almost 6 years. Be 6 years in April.
Nice. So it was around to that time when you released your previous album that you had quite a bit of success with, right?
Yeah, it was 2013. That was
Okay.
February of 2013 when we released New Hometown, and that was our big moment, and had our number one Billboard thing, and we had the video that went number one on the CMT countdown, and so that was definitely our big moment.
Well, I'm sure you've got some more success coming too. Your new EP, Burnin Moonlight, just came out. Can you maybe tell me about that and what it was like writing for it?
Yeah. So as I said, when I moved up to Nashville in 2015, or I said that I had the reason I moved up here was I got a gig writing songs for a publisher here, and sort of changed the way I wrote songs. Before moving here, I had really just written songs for me, and everything I wrote had to feel right in my voice. And when I moved here, I started writing with other people, co-writing songs together. You learn that everything doesn't have to be in your own voice, and you learn to write songs that a woman could sing. You learn to write songs that are sort of out of your wheelhouse a bit. So that's what I did, and I spent a lot of time writing songs for everybody under the sun. And these songs are songs that I've written over the past few years, just kind of along the way. After sitting back and listening to them, saying, oh, you know what, like that one actually, that one would sound right in my voice, even though a lot of stuff that I write these days doesn't. So, that's, these are just kind of a collection of tunes that, stayed with me even as I sort of written them and moved on to the next one and the next one and the next one, and these six are songs that really I don't know, spoke to me in a way that a lot of the other stuff I was writing didn't. So I picked six that I loved, that felt like a story together, and to actually hear the story in story order, you got to take the first track on the record and move it to the end. But if you do, it's kind of a life cycle of a relationship. Past midnight being those first minutes of chemistry when you meet somebody new and you think it could be something, and all the way on to villain where you realize that it's over and somebody's got to be the bad guy. So it just felt like a really cohesive piece with these 10 songs, and put it together, and once we started kind of hearing them take shape, it was great. And this it really felt something we could all be proud of, and it was a real different experience for us because we're so used to working these songs out on the road. We'd been doing 200 shows a year up until a couple of years ago, and you do the song 100, 200, 300 times before you record it. All of these songs we'd never played really before. I'd played them out at songwriter events, but never with the whole band. So this was a real different way of going about it, and it was scary and nerve-wracking. But in the end, I'm really proud of what we came out with, and I hope everybody likes it as much as I do.
Well, that's exciting. And your video for your single "Past Midnight," it's pretty artsy. Did you record that during the quarantine?
We did. Yeah, we did that back in August. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was definitely really different because the last time we had worked with that director, this is our third video with Mill, and the last time we worked with him was at a sold out show in Atlanta with about 1,000 people. And, we had, the big cranes flying cameras in, and little, drones flying around inside the building and all this crazy stuff. So, it was definitely a different experience for us. We were in a tiny little room, and we were shooting, little pieces at a time. And, and all the real work this time was done on the back end, kind of putting the pieces together and making it feel cohesive, and that we had been, I don't know, not in a tiny little room recording it, somewhere a little bigger. So
it's a super cool video.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I know things are extra weird right now with COVID, and it's kind of hard to plan ahead, but do you have any like live streams or anything exciting planned for the rest of this year, or anything next year?
Yeah, actually we do. Not so much for this year. We'll probably pop up here and there, do a little, Facebook Live event, what have you. But we, in the next day or two, we're going to be announcing a live stream, a full band live stream, from a venue with actual people in it, and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to take place first half of January. We're almost there on the date, figuring out which one it's going to be. So stay tuned on that. But first probably 10 days of January, we're going to do this live stream. We're going to do the whole new record and a lot of the older stuff that people have been kind of asking us to do. And then we got a few surprises as well. Maybe a guest appearance or two. Something nice about living in Nashville is that, there's always you always got a celebrity neighbor that doesn't have anything to do, that might be able to swing by and lend you a little bit of their credibility.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on everything. I have been asking my guests if they have any sort of advice for other musicians.
Oh boy, that's tough right now. I think if you'd asked me this 12 months ago, I'd have a whole line of things to tell you. Oh, try this, do this. Right now it's really it's do what you got to do to take care of your mental health. And everybody's having a tough time right now, and don't beat yourself up if you're feeling bummed out or depressed or just unhappy with the way things are going. All of us are unhappy with the way things are going, and it's just a matter of figuring out a way to get through it as long as it takes. And hopefully early enough next year that we'll be able to all get out there and see each other on the road and, play for actual people. And I think, I think one of the benefits of this is I think people, maybe because there's so much music out there, had started to take music for granted just a little bit. And I think music fans and really country and roots music fans especially seem to be really, really missing, really missing that live music experience. And I think that people aren't going to take it for granted the way they used to once we are able to finally get back to it.
That's very interesting, and I totally agree.
Well, good. If we just keep saying it, it'll manifest it, right?
That's right. How it works. That's how it works. Well, thank you so much for being on. For everyone listening at home, be sure to check out the Southern Gothic's brand new EP, Burnin Moonlight.
Thanks for tuning into the Groove Lab. Y'all stay groovy.
You guys know I'm a newbie at podcasting. There's so much that goes into it. But luckily, I found Anchor, the easiest way to podcast. Not only do they have the tools to help you record and edit, but they also help with distribution. So your voice can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. But the best part is, it's free. Everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Make your voice heard. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to share it with a friend. And that's about it. That's all I've got for you. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you back here next Wednesday for a brand new episode. Stay groovy.